comment on, you said, or after the BG game, I remember talking about the outside hitters in the middles really coming together in the matches over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought coming into the week we were about ready to, I deemed it as about ready to pop. I thought we're starting to get good play out of 3 and 4 positions at a time, and it was becoming more consistent. Again, we're looking at a lot of times numbers within the numbers, and again, our team doesn't care about those, and nobody really knows about those. But the numbers within the numbers were showing that our outsides were getting more and more consistent, and our middles were starting to score pretty frequently. And so when you can get consistent play out of 4 positions, and then Faith actually had a terrific weekend in terms of point-to-error ratio. There's just a lot of things right now that are going relatively well for us. I thought the opportunity for us to excel and get some wins could happen. And then I don't think we got BG or Miami's best effort. I think both those teams are better than that. Our crowd maybe took them out of it, maybe a couple early blocks, maybe the start of MAC play. I'm not sure what the factors were, but I'm sure the next time we play them in a month, it's going to be a lot harder.
Also, there were a lot less point runs in the 2 matches. Can you comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, we put a real emphasis last week on trying to avoid point runs. We've been talking about it quite a bit. We've done a drill here or there, but we really tried to spend 2 to 3 days last week on making sure we weren't giving up point runs. There were a couple of situations where Miami and BG let us off the hook with a missed serve, and really, I was unable to see the full effect of our practices in terms of they would make a little push and shoot themselves in the foot a little bit, and I would expect that as the MAC season goes on, that will stop occurring. Somebody's gonna put their best foot forward and push and force us to push back instead of shooting themselves in the foot. So we're still going to need that. That's going to have to be a staple for us to be able to win matches down the stretch.
So what will be the focus of practice this week heading into Kent and Eastern Michigan this weekend?
Well, I think there's some things we can do a little bit better. And I think I talked about this last week in our one-option situations and just being able to handle bad situations better. If we can handle bad situations better and continue to capitalize on the good ones, I think we have a chance to be pretty good. All in all, on the weekend, just really pleased with, our team's performance. I thought Chelsea and Kelly kind of flipped roles Friday and Saturday night. It'd be great if they both played great on the same night, but them combined with the middles was a whole lot of points for us. So we'll just, again, we got to keep getting better, and we got to manage the bad situations a little bit better.
So I don't know how much tape you've looked at so far this week, but what are some differences between Kent and Eastern Michigan compared to BG and Miami?
Kent's a little bit smaller this year than they have been in years past. Right now they have what appears like a setter injury, which inhibited them a little bit, I think, the last 2 weeks. And I don't know to the extent of that injury, so I don't know which setter we will expect to see. I think that they like to mix in a little bit of 6'2", and they can't do that right now. So this year they're a little bit smaller. And again, I think the thing we're looking for there is which setter comes out and sets. So we're going to have to watch matches with each kid's setting and see if we have to prepare differently. So we've started that process at this point with a shortened week. Just to get a feel for some of those opponents. And then Eastern, my understanding is they didn't play real well Friday night against Western, but then beat the preseason pick to win at Northern on Saturday night at Northern Illinois. And from the numbers, everything looked terrific with them in that Saturday night match and kind of the opposite Friday. So I don't know if they're battling a consistency issue or not. I haven't dove in far enough yet. We have them Saturday. But I know they're a very, very balanced team, a very good team that can score in multiple positions, does not make many mistakes, and from the looks of things, it looks like the MAC West is going to be tough 1 through 6 this year. I mean, it's a pretty good side over there, and all those teams have had some really nice wins.
Did you notice maybe any nervousness on the part of the first-year players coming into this weekend?
I think our strong starts in both matches held us from having too much nervous issues. I think we started out playing both of them well. I think if we would have stuttered or made a few too many mistakes early, I think maybe it would have gotten to them. But, you're looking at a team that's played 14 matches, 8, 9 BCS opponents, 5, 6 NCAA tournament teams. We've had a home tournament. First game was in front of, almost 3,000. I don't know that they feel that much like freshmen anymore. Maybe. They certainly sometimes play like it, But I don't think that they're real nervous kids.
Looking at where you are in the season right now, compared to where, thinking about, if you could tell yourself now, or like at the beginning of the season, like where you'd be now, like is it kind of what you expected?
I would have hoped to have gotten 1 or 2 more preseason wins. When you put the schedule together, I thought it's very likely that we would be able to get 8, which is what we got. I had hoped for a better performance here or there to try and push us to 9 or 10, and that didn't happen. In terms of our play and where I thought we'd be, I'd say it's pretty close to our expectation, which is we have the ability to score again in 3-4 positions on any given night. Our hitters are starting to get in a pretty good groove with Bailey most of the time. We're starting to understand each other's roles a little bit more. We have a lineup we feel pretty good about moving forward. And now it's really about getting better, getting better every week. We still, with this young of a team, will probably spend 30 minutes in any given practice on match preparation and an hour and a half to 2 hours on us. We're just going to have to get better all year to be able to play our best at the end. So I don't know if we're ahead or behind of where I expected to be, but I think we're showing what we're capable of and need to continue to get better. The key is just avoiding the hiccup. It's to win a championship in the regular season, you probably need about 14 wins. In 09 we got 15, in 08 we got 13, and it wasn't enough. I think last year 14 won it. You don't have any space to if you want to win it. If you want to win it, you don't get to blow one. It just takes you out of the mix. Either that or you got to get real hot real late and win 8 or 9 in a row. The hard part for us is in terms of trying to win it, we're on the road 4 out of the next 5 weekends. So that's tough. I mean, that's, what is that? 8 out of our next 10 are on the road. Now we get to finish 4 at home, which is great, but 8 out of the next 10 on the road isn't a lot of fun. So we're going to take this young team on the road here and see if we can get a little bit tougher and win some road games now.
Do you tell the girls kind of what you just told us about, that it takes 14 wins, or so that they have the number in their head, or do you just kind of let them play so that they don't think about it?
Every week we'll do a State of the Union, and kind of just make our team aware of what happened in the MAC, and that'll start now. That'll start either today or tomorrow, actually. I think it'll probably start tomorrow because today we do a little bit of a shift schedule, individual practice thing. So we'll talk about that. I don't think, I think they're aware that we need about 14. I don't think we're going to put an emphasis on 14. We're not a goal team, like, hey, this is our goal, because if you miss something, if you make something, you can overshoot it, you can undershoot it. There's a lot of variables there that we're not too concerned about. Each week, we're going to have to win if we want to be in it. And so they just need to be aware of in the mix. What would be phenomenal for us is to be in the mix with 2 to 3 weeks to play when we get those last 4 home games on the road. And we know to be in the mix later, we've got to win now. And they know that and understand that. So I think that's enough. That's enough. And who knows, we could be in 2 weeks talking about trying to be in the middle of the pack, with 1 weekend. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. We played pretty well, but like I said, BG and Miami didn't give us their best. So those will be tougher next time around. Anything else? All right. Thank you.